I'm thinking of going to work for a startup. What's the big difference between working in a small and a large company? There really is a significant difference between being part of a Fortune 10 company and being part of a team of 2 or 3. Well, the business issues are very much the same. The way those business issues are solved can be very different. So this time, let's look at the difference and how to tell which one might be right for you. Okay, first the difference. Now, as I said, it might seem obvious, but comparisons come down to the number of people that you're working with. In large companies, you have more and more people. More people tend to mean more specialization, and more specialization tends to mean much narrower sets of skills. And those narrower sets of skills tend to imply much longer chains of command. You'll find that there's more structure, there's more process, and in the end, that can make them feel very slow to change and react. In a smaller company, organizations tend to be clearly smaller, roles tend to be broader, and people tend to be jack of all trades. Now, in that format, you may find it much more relaxed, less process, and therefore the perception is they can adapt more quickly. Having worked in both the largest and the smallest companies, I can tell you the most significant difference is the speed of decisions. In a Fortune 10 company, lots of people have to be involved, there's lots of opinions, and it takes time to get a decision. In a startup, you make decisions very quickly. It's based on what you know and those around you. The decision making may be no better, may be no worse, but it may be much faster. Okay, skills, passion, and fit. When deciding on a job, one of my colleagues used to talk about skills, passion, and fit. Do you have the skills? Is this something you're passionate about? And will you fit the culture? Well, we're not as interested here in skills and passion. They are clearly very important. What we really want to focus on is fit. Do you fit the type of organization that has less people rather than more, where the work may be much more focused on what you can do? Now, there's nothing right or wrong here. It's about what you're most comfortable with. In small businesses, smaller teams also tend to have to deal with a lot more ambiguity. If you don't like dealing with the uncertain, then you won't like working in a startup. Okay, so spend a minute on moving between them. It's often easy for someone to move to a smaller company. They take their skills and they move it to a smaller company. But they can be a fish out of water if they get it wrong and if they don't really understand their fit. Think about it this way. In a large company, you often have many people to execute your strategy. In a small company, you probably have to be the strategy and execution team yourself. In a small company, you probably are used to making the decisions and moving very fast. But if you move to a large company, you'll need to have selling skills because you need to get a lot more people involved before you get to execute your ideas. When I first went to work for a really small startup, they knew I could cope in terms of the content, but the question is, could I cope in terms of the fit into the organization? Could I move from a staff of 400 to a staff of 2? By the way, going the other way is really just the same issue. Can you go from a staff of 2 to a staff of 400? Although that's often less likely. All of these are critical questions, not about the quantity of work, not about the quality of work, but the way you get work done. So the bottom line is this: you need to work out how you like to work. Make sure you get to an organization that fits both the way you like to work and what you like to do.